So I got twin 9-year-old girls, and I don't know what I'm going to do. They are coming off the bus, man, and they are just fired up about something that happened in school. And you know when your kids are really young and it's adorable when you hear them curse for the first time and you get to turn to your spouse and say, oh, they're using your favorite word. So, So they come off the bus, and I'm not going to mention their names, but the younger one says, I'm just dealing with bitches. I'm just dealing with bitches all day long. She's 9. And then the older one, also 9, older by a minute, going to cling on to that for the rest of her life. She comes off the bus, and after the bus clears, she starts crying. And thank God I'm only hearing this secondhand because I'm not ready for emotions like that from the girls. And I'm really worried as to what type of treatment my wife gave her mother as a young woman, and how much karma is now going to be directed back to her, and of course by default affecting me. It's really going to be a bumpy ride from I suppose now. What do you say, 15, 16?
What was the radio station that you hosted at college, just so I can introduce you properly this time?
You don't mean 1610 AM WRFT Temple Amblers only radio station. I'll try. I was thinking about it this morning because I haven't talked about that in 20 years, 22 years. I the show, it was on Wednesdays at 2:00 in the afternoon, so I called it the Hump Day Midday Show. And
that's some prime time right there, Chris.
That's right. 2 to 3
in between classes. That's a solid 10 to 15 while they're going from class to class.
I'll tell you, the signal didn't reach the hallway unless you had the door to the studio open. I swear to God.
Hey, Bobby, you want to swing that open a little bit? There we go.
Come on in. Let's play pretend. Let's play. Somebody's listening to this. Like we're doing it right now.
How's that sound?
Fantastic.
Real good.
Brian, you still rocking pants, or did you get into full podcast outfit?
I did. I kept them on. I was in too much of a rush to take them off.
That belt's got to be chafing a little something now.
No Vacancy is the self-storage podcast that pulls back the roll-up door on the industry's most outrageous stories, toughest challenges, and unexpected laughs. Hosted by the team at Access Self Storage, each episode brings together real operators, sharp marketers, and off-the-wall personalities to talk about what really goes on behind the gate code. From crazy tenant tales to hard-won lessons in customer service, it's raw, unfiltered, and a little irreverent, just like life in storage. Hey, Tommy, how you doing?
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Andrew?
Hey, man.
Good, man. Good to see you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today.
Tommy
You've
always
met
brings the juice.
both Chris and Brian, right?
I believe so. Surely.
Okay.
Yeah. So, will y'all be posting video too, or just audio?
Just audio.
Okay.
You don't have to be as careful.
We can pick our nose and
Right. You know, things happen. Scratch an itch. Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So how's it going?
It's good, guys. I'm excited. I was premature. I emailed Andrew last week that I might be running a little bit late, and it turns out I was very early. It was not last
whole
Tuesday.
week early.
It was this Tuesday. So, it worked out well.
Man, I wish I was that on the ball, that I was like a whole week early to stuff and making mistakes instead.
It was a rare occasion just for you guys. I am rarely that on the ball. Now, all of y'all are up in Jersey, or
The
Pretty
two
much.
of us with good internet connection are up in New Jersey.
Chris?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where does that put you, Chris?
Oh, that puts me in the bowels of Pennsylvania somewhere, Tommy.
Well, Andrew, they just got internet 6 months ago, so
I'm trying to take it easy on him, but I mean, come on.
I was telling Andrew earlier, Chris, that maybe you should look into Starlink.
Honestly,
That's right.
my partner uses Starlink.
I hear it's wonderful.
And they don't even have internet at their house. They just use Starlink.
Nice.
So there you go.
There you go, Chris.
You want me to get up on the roof for this podcast? Just
We'll call Elon for you.
the only reason I need the extra boost is for this.
Yes. I love it.
Excellent. Yeah.
We've got Tommy Nguyen from StoragePug, founder of StoragePug, joining us today. Tommy, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it. We're gonna keep it loose like we've been, and we'll see where this takes us.
I'm excited to be here, guys. Andrew, Chris, Brian, thanks for having me, guys. I think it's going to be a fantastic episode.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Glad to have you, Tommy. You're the pro at this. You've how many Gab Focus sessions have you guys recorded now?
The one that we're going to have this upcoming Thursday will be our 78th episode.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, and that's in addition to we've also hosted different webinars and podcasts for the state associations, especially during COVID when everything was shut down, and the associations weren't really prepared for it. So we partnered with a bunch of different states to host their virtual webinars, and honestly, I think at that time we will get into it, but I think at that time people thought StoragePug was much bigger than we were, just because they kept seeing our name everywhere. In association with like the North Carolina Association, Texas, and Pennsylvania, and Florida. And it's like, no, we're just a few dudes in Knoxville. So we definitely had some fake it till we make it energy in those early days.
That's awesome. I'm sure Andrew loves that. That means great marketing somewhere along the line. Somebody nailed some great marketing. So how did the brand name come to be?
So we were in my partner's basement, and we had decided by then we're going to be a company, right? And so, of course, when you have to have a website and you have to have a logo, of course, right? And so we were in his basement, Matt, and we're like, what are we going to call ourselves? And we looked around the industry, and the industry is pretty like clinical, right? It's a lot of self-storage, a lot of like very not fun names, and so we're like, let's be something more interesting.
You can say it like Access Self-Storage.
It's okay. Too on the nose.
Our name is great, Brian.
It's a great name.
I love it, but it does stem from wanting to be at the front of the yellow pages and the A section.
You know what?
Back in the day,
I love that. That is knowing how to market well. So shout out Access. But ultimately, we decided, you know what? Let's be a dog themed company because dogs are fun. Everyone loves a dog, and so we looked up a list of breeds, and my partner had just gotten a Shiba Inu puppy named Betty. And we're like, storage Shiba Inu would be kind of fun, but obviously
doesn't really roll off the tongue.
Doesn't quite roll off the tongue. Yeah. And so we looked at the list of breed names. And we're like, pug. It's 3-letter word. It's short. StoragePug, and everyone loves a pug. And then when we Googled StoragePug, there was no results, which meant like awesome. We can from day one we can dominate that search. And then the domain was available for $12 on Google Domains, and that was it. I think it took us maybe 12 minutes.
That's awesome.
I thought it was going to come from like one of you having a pug. I thought that was going to be this great.
Still to this day, no one has a pug at StoragePug. Oh, we had an HR lady, she Winona, who actually now she works at the NSA, the National Storage Affiliates. She's on their HR team over there now. But she had a pug. But that came years later. We were StoragePug was well established by then. So yeah, none of the founders still to this day have a pug. But it's in our heart, and it's our DNA. And I think, and we were chatting yesterday about branding because we're rolling out this new thing, and we're talking about branding. And then Matt said it's like, honestly, it doesn't even matter what we call it because we made a company called StoragePug, and here we are. So
Good point. Yeah.
Right? So, like, when you have companies like Apple and Google and, like, who cares what the name of the company is, as long as you provide good service and you're good people and you have a good product. Now, the company, but Pug has been fun because we refer to ourselves as Pugs. The industry refers to us as the Pug. And so, it's taken on its own personality, which worked out. So I'm glad we did choose a name that was easy to personify, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Also, absolutely. Great socks and T-shirts.
Oh, yeah. Made it
coming
so
from
easy.
Pug.
Yeah, I'd like to get into that a little bit. Who does your merchandising? Do you guys have quarterly meetings? I mean,
now we have an events manager. Yeah, we have an events manager, Garrett, now, who's awesome, and he leads full charge on it now. But in the early days, it was a combination of me and Matt. We would order blank shirts for cheap, like from these stock, from these bulk places. Shout out blankstyles.com. We no longer order from you all, but we loved y'all in the early days because we couldn't afford the real shirts. But we ordered, this nice little shirt as we could, and we would take it to a local printer here in Knoxville, and then we'd actually print the shirts. And so we did a lot of just in the week, we would just roll up our sleeves and get it done. But nowadays, Garrett, he came from a big company called Radio Systems. They do like Invisible Fence, a huge, international company. And so he did a lot of their events and swag in his time there. And so he had a lot of contacts. And so now shirts are way easier, socks are way easier. But in those early days, it was just a lot of we just got to figure out how to do this when we don't have any money and don't have any people. We just got to roll up our sleeves and get it done. But now we have a guy named Garrett who manages it all for us, and it's a dream.
These two can attest. Every time we're in person for a podcast recording, I am wearing my StoragePug T-shirt. It's just comfortable, and I think I've worn it 3 or 4 times when we were in Woodbridge.
Yeah, we started to make it a bit of a joke that it's Andrew's podcast uniform.
Dude, I love it. I've seen it as now. That's the first as a podcast uniform, but I've seen it as workout shirts. I've seen it as amusement park shirts. People more. I have more grown men sending me pictures of themselves and their socks too. I've seen many an ankle in my text message, which is it's kind of fun, right? So if this. So if this whole self-storage software thing doesn't work out, we can pivot as a merchandise company.
Oh, merch. Absolutely.
All-day merch. But with the socks, so the origin of the socks, though, my partner's dad was the president, I think. He was on the commission of the Knoxville Airport. So before you get too crazy, Knoxville Airport, if you've never flown in it, has 12 terminals. So, the president of the Knoxville Airport is modest, right? But he went to an airport trade show, which I didn't know was a thing, but he came back with a pair of socks from Cirrus Aircraft, who's actually they're based here in Knoxville as well. And so he's like, "Hey, I got these socks," and that was where the idea came from. It was like, what kind of monster throws away a pair of socks? They don't. They're gonna give it to somebody. They're gonna put it in their sock drawer, or gonna leave it in their desk. But people, of course, are gonna throw away notepads and pens and all the other swag, right? And at that time, that's what we gave away. We had notepads, we had pins, we had koozies, all this stuff that no one wants. And so we're like, you know what? Instead of spending any money on these other stuff, we're only going to spend money on socks and T-shirts. And so that was it. And so that's worked out really well. Now we've become kind of known for it, and it's gotten crazy. This year in 2025, my design team came up with 5 different designs. And I got 3 of them. And you
just saying.
And Andrew's got 3 of them. And so who knows what's in store for next year. And then the shirt. So we made a very conscious decision to get the nicest shirt that we could afford. Because we didn't want, because we all get the swag shirts that are a little crunchy, that you never want to wear. We wanted a shirt that we wanted to wear because at the time, I couldn't afford to buy clothes. So, and so I would want a shirt.
I got you.
So we got the Toltex Tri-Blend. That's your secret for the day. You want to go for the Tri-Blend.
Love it.
It's soft.
Totally
They're
worth it.
Very soft.
They're awesome. We'll be right back. Access Self-Storage has been leading the Northeast for over 50 years. We don't just manage buildings, we grow communities, increase performance, and help owners win in their local markets. Your property deserves a partner, not just a logo.
Now, back to the show.
Yeah.
Tommy, you mentioned rolling up your sleeves and getting the job done. And when I was doing my research about you, that seems to be a theme since you were a young kid. It seems like you got that from your mom. Can you talk a little bit about your mom? I know she's owned her own business for a long time. What she means to you and how she shaped, who you are and the company that you run.
Chris just coming in with the Sean Evans Hot Ones quality question.
I love it, man. I love it. Thank you, Chris. You did some deep research, man. I love that. No, so I'm a first generation immigrant. I came here to the U.S. when I was a kid. I was 2. I was a baby. I have a 3-year-old now, which is crazy. So I was around Vera's age when we came to America, and my mom, she came here with me and her mom, my grandmother, and my aunt. And brand new country, didn't speak the English, didn't have the language, obviously culture, food, everything, right? So she just took this huge risk, and her dad was an American soldier during the Vietnam War. And after the war, they didn't have contact with him, and so I think still to this day we don't know who he is. So after the war, he left, and so my mom grew up in Vietnam, had a really rough childhood. I think poor in Vietnam is another level of poor, right? And so she couldn't go to school, so she dropped out of school in 3rd grade. Went to the markets and helped my grandmother sell whatever they were selling in the markets. And so when my mom had the opportunity to come to America, she took it. And so came here, we landed in Atlanta. And if y'all many of the audience will remember this, Atlanta had the big blizzard in 1993, which was our first winter in America. In Vietnam we never seen snow. And not only did we see snow, we saw the blizzard. And so I have pictures where the snow was up to my chin. And so that was we all got sick, and it was fun, but also chaos. So growing up, single parent household, I have 2 younger siblings. And so, as the oldest child, you kind of take on extra responsibilities. When I was a teenager, she took the opportunity she had to, actually. It was an opportunity that was forced upon her. She worked at the Levi's factory in Knoxville, and which was cool that we had that. But then, of course, Levi's decided to move the operations to Mexico, wherever it is they make jeans now, and she didn't have a job or education, so she ended up really, really fighting really hard to get her nails tech license or her license to do nails. And so she did that, and then eventually worked at a few nail salons. And so shout out the nails industry, it's stereotypical. A lot of Vietnamese people, fall into that industry, and my family was the same. It helped my mom buy her first house, and then her second house, and eventually, Chris, like you said, she ended up starting her own little salon where she owns her own little business. And she's still crushing it out there. She lives in Knoxville, where we are, so I'm still very close to home and still very close to her. And I think the what I learned from her is you gotta have grit. You know what I mean? Because there's no choice. You know what I mean? When you come to a new place, whether or not you speak the language, and if you don't, it's even harder. You got to have grit. There's no other option, right? There was not an option, let's go back to Vietnam. That was never on the table, right? So I think grit was growing, watching and observing that. But the second thing was you just got to figure it out, And I think that was really cool. I'm really glad I was gifted that. I was able to observe that from my mom. It's we just got to figure it out. And so that's bled into every facet of my life, including StoragePug, where one of our core values is we make it happen. Because of her, I'm able to do all of those things. And I'm just very happy and proud to be here.
Tommy, what's the Vietnamese word for grandma?
So noi or ngai is the official term.
Nice.
Yeah. But we call her Grammy. It's easier.
Thank you for sharing that story, Tommy. It's terrific. And you mentioned the American dream, and really without those pictures of men's ankles, that's kind of the cherry on top, I think, for the whole situation, which is great. It's great. So you guys made it to Knoxville as a family, right? Knoxville's a large up-and-coming area in Tennessee.
Knoxville, is sneaky in we're home to a lot of really cool companies. For a long time, we were the home headquarters of Regal Cinemas, headquarters of Pilot, of course, which most people know, Clayton Homes, Discovery, or Scripps Network was based here in Knoxville before they were, gobbled up by Discovery and whatnot. And so there was a lot of cool things happening in Knoxville that I think created a talent pool for really cool people. Right. And for the longest time, too, cost of living was historically, relative to the rest of the country, very low. I think that's changed. I think people have figured out Knoxville. The last 2 or 3 years, lots of people have moved here. Actually, probably the last 5 years, our population growth has increased and traffic has increased with it. And supposedly we're on the number 1 or 2 as far as top spots for people to move to in 2026. So y'all should move to Chattanooga, by the way. Chattanooga's a great town, so y'all should move there. No, I kid.
You don't want the carpetbaggers coming down to Knoxville.
So yeah, right. No, but I think from a business perspective, I think that's from StoragePug's point of view, having access to really smart people and mentors and talent has been a big part of our growth to get here. And so, so I think for his foreseeable future, if not forever. And then on top of that, our first official professional soccer team won the champion this past Sunday. One Knox Soccer Club. Yeah, so I think this is our third year in the league, and we do. Yeah, they approached us to be a potential sponsor a couple years ago, and we're like, heck yeah, this is something that we've always would love to do. And one of the things that I love most about what they're doing is they have completely reshaped youth soccer in the Knoxville area. They've made it affordable. They've made it more organized, and so you can't beat that, right? So now you've got really cool extracurricular programs for children from, I think, as little as 3. My daughter, they call it One Knox Monsters. So she is loosely there, but she played soccer this past year. And I think it's a really, really cool thing that they're doing. So that was easy for us to sponsor and be a part of. And the fact that they won the champion, the finals, was a little cherry on top. So Knoxville's got a little cool things going on.
Yeah. You mentioned the culture earlier at StoragePug. You guys have been named one of the best places to work in Tennessee before. I know your involvement in One Knoxville Sporting Club is huge, and also the Love Kitchen. You guys spend a lot of time there in Knoxville. Who's driving the culture for you guys? And how often do you make a choice of culture and, your fundamentals over business?
Well, that's a good question. I think the first part of your question is, I think it's everyone. I think from day one, of course, so much of the culture is the personalities of the founders, right? That's just how it is. Anyone who starts a business or anyone who's part of a young, growing business, the lines are very gray and murky between personal and business, right? So how I choose to run my day is how I choose to run the business, right? And so we realized that there were a lot of commonalities between Matt, Richard, and myself, but also differences. And so we agreed on what was common and we embraced the differences. And so, like I mentioned earlier, things like we make it happen was a core value. It makes us happy to make you happy is another core value. But these are just things that's just how we lived our lives, So it was easy to create those corporate values because that is just who we are day to day. And so there's not we didn't have a board meeting where we sat around the board table and said, what's going to motivate people? It's no, this is actually who we are. And we hope it motivates people. That's great if it does. But even if it doesn't, this is who we are. This is how we choose to run the business, right? So then that bleeds into, I think, the second part of your question is how often are we making decisions that are culture versus business? And I think for us, the culture piece is the business. We wouldn't be here if we didn't have people who believed in the way that we believed. And we wouldn't be here if we didn't feel that we didn't believe on taking care of people, right? One of the cool things that we chose to do when we sponsored One Knox is what's our slogan, right? Because if you imagine, right, the audience, people who watch the soccer games, very likely not storage owners, right? Or very likely not our target demographic. However, we're like, okay, who is going to watch? And so we decided to go with "Love Where You Work" as the slogan on the thing. So if someone sees that and they're interested, they Google the Purple Pug and they find StoragePug and they find their journey to us. And I think that was a very conscious decision that we made. And so we wanted to create a work environment that where people, they felt, of course, they feel respected, they feel loved, and they feel cared for. And if they feel that way, then they can provide their best work, whether they're in marketing or sales or support or product development, design. They can, we want this to be a place where we can foster our people's energy and foster creativity and foster an environment where we all cared for each other and our clients and the product, right? And so, to me, we have the culture decisions are business decisions. There's never a situation where I think like we would choose money over anything else. In fact, we probably have not taken on. I think there probably been, I can count on at least one hand where there were monetary decisions we made that didn't add to the bottom line because it was against the grain or it was against what we believed in.
I love the testing of something. I always love testing something new from a marketing standpoint, but your ability to recognize that like a soccer team probably isn't going to go directly to storage owners, but to still make it engaging by saying like "love where you work" or some kind of a tagline that kind of speaks to the masses and still drives interest and has people intrigued about what this might be about. Like that's cool. Yeah. That's very cool.
No, I've had multiple people email me and text me that they saw that and they loved it. And even I saw my doctor yesterday, and she was like, "Hey, I saw y'all's game on TV because it was I guess it was on ESPN." Which I think is kind of cool. And she said, "Yeah, I saw StoragePug and I saw y'all slogan and she loved it." So I think to your point, it's getting out to the masses and it's a different message. It's not one that's going to help us grow our business from a revenue point of view, probably, but definitely one that's going to help us attract really cool people. I think honestly, I'll say this, we don't. And y'all know this because y'all run, y'all been part of Access for many years, and you don't often have time to reflect on the current state, right? So much of our energy is like, what's next? Or, oh, shoot, what happened last quarter, right? It's like you're caught between the future and the past, and you don't really get to, like, savor the present. I think this version of StoragePug is the first time that I actually got to, like, savor and, like, appreciate what we've built, right? Like the last quarter, the last 3 months, it's just been really cool to kind of sit back and say, yeah, we got really cool processes. We got really cool people. Our product is super solid. And like we actually get to like enjoy it and appreciate and savor it, right? And that gets me so gung-ho and excited for next year and what we're about to roll out and, new cool features and product lines and initiatives and all these kinds of things. And but this is the 8 years in, this is the first time where I got to like slow down enough to like smell the roses, as they say. and so that part has been a personal joy for me. Honestly, it's really just this last 3 months that things have slowed down enough for me to appreciate it.
So which of those exciting new things on the horizon for next year do you want to highlight for us? What are you excited about for the next version of StoragePug?
The next big thing is, and I can't announce it here, so I can't drop the exclusive with you, Brian, but I'll give you all the details. Tommy. I'll give you all the details around it. There's going to be a backpack and there's going to be a pug. But we're rolling out a brand new education platform, and I think it's awesome. Hopefully, y'all will have me back when I'm ready to announce it. I can do an exclusive announcement right here.
Somebody got. We're recording. We got it. Okay. Exclusive drop right here.
Exclusive drop right here. But no, I'm excited. But what we're going to roll out, I think, is hopefully change the way that operators learn to operate their businesses. So much of the content out there, and y'all know this, is geared towards development and investors, right? Here's how you get in the industry. Here's how you build your first facility. Here's how you buy your first facility. Here's how you raise money. So many, I don't say gurus, but so many tools and platforms out there that help that part of the audience. there are very few limited options for someone who just wants to run their business better. How do I get more reviews for my business? How do I do collections better? How do I train my managers, right? There's not a lot of programs out there for that kind of operator. And so now, it's not that they don't exist, it's just they're not totally accessible. So we're hoping to make it totally accessible. So we're going to do premium free content where we partner with industry players who know how to do their stuff. And so, for example, and I'm going to pitch this to Access eventually, so I might call up Andrew and say, hey, Andrew, can I fly my film crew out to Access to one of your stores and actually learn how y'all operate? So we can create a course. Now you follow me, right? So can we create a course from this is how Access operates? And so now it's a course that's out there, and I don't want to put Access on the spot, but how cool would it be to contribute to other people running their business better? Right? And so that's our whole idea is we want to help 10,000 storage operators run their businesses better. And we want to do so, and we're going to start with education. In early 2026, we're rolling out a brand new education platform.
I think it's awesome that you guys are doubling down in that direction. I wanted to bring it up today at some point in the course of this conversation and mention that I just really love what you guys do with the Gab Focus and not even just those sessions that are recorded for people to tune into and participate in, but also on your website, all the, available free resources that you have for folks to just improve their operations. Started my career myself in operations, running a single property, and have grown to lead teams of managers. And I just think you have so many resources available that I've pointed multiple managers in the direction of your library, so to speak, of information, and I regularly will send out links to your Gab Focus sessions and be like, hey, this is a great topic. Everybody can use a refresher, even if you've been in the business for 20 years, or, you've got the newer hires on board. We've got, managers that have been with us for not as long, that I think tons of great takeaways, great exposure to people who know, who have been successful, who know what they're talking about. So kudos to you guys for investing the time and energy, right? I know that that's not directly monetized for you guys. You're not charging a entrance fee to your Gab Focus sessions, and I just think it's an awesome thing that you guys do, and it really, to me, is so in line with the generosity of the storage industry of information, right? People are really willing to share their knowledge, and I think that that's a great thing that you guys are doing.
Dude, heck yeah. That is so spot on, and that warms my heart so much, everything you just said. Our thoughts is like, if everyone is running their business better, everyone's going to win. Over the last 5 years, we've had over 2,500 individual people show up to Gab Focus, which is a really cool stat for us. And that doesn't include people who listened to it and watched the replay. We're talking 2,500 people who attended a live episode. And our goal with this new program, this new initiative is, we want to reach 10,000 operators and even, and go from there. So, but Brian, everything you said is awesome, man, and I appreciate you sharing that.
Did I hear potentially a new piece of merch? Did you say backpacks?
Yeah, so there's a backpack and a pug somewhere that's going to be involved. We call it Backpack Pug, and that will make an entrance at some point in early 2026.
Can I place a pre-order?
There is no way that you're going to get one of those backpacks at the SSA show. There is no. You would have a better time trying to get a one Knox jersey with the pug on it. There's no way that they're giving that away to you.
I love it. Just teasing it out there, yeah. But.
And we will be right back.
At Access Self Storage, we don't play the rate hike game. While some guys crank up prices after just a couple of months after moving in, we believe in fairness, transparency, and treating people the right way. No surprises, just honest storage from a family-owned company that actually gets it.
Now back to the show.
2026 is going to be a big year for, hopefully for StoragePug, but I think it's going to be a big year for the industry. I think people have grappled with, the post-COVID demand, right? That golden era. I think people have grappled with this is what it looks like now. and I think people are finally okay with it. You know, it was like the several stages of grief, and we're like, okay, you know what? This is the new normal for us. In fact, the new normal is still better than it was in 2018. So we should be, I think people are finally coming around to this is what the environment looks like. And I think, on one hand it's challenging, but on the other hand, the challenge is fun because now the people who operate well are going to stand out. It's going to be really obvious.
So for the people who may not know, StoragePug, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tommy, specializes in websites, Google business profiles. You guys offer a beautiful dashboard that makes everything really easy to understand. Is there anything that I'm missing from that? Those are kind of like your specialty areas, right?
Yeah, we are hiring for sales, Andrew. If you want to come and do demos as a living. No, that was perfect the way you described it. Yeah. So we build websites. You know what I like to say for storage operators is we make you look good and we help you rent units. That's it. Everything in between is all the details for an operator that matters to you. But ultimately, those are the two deliverables. I'm going to make sure that your website represents your business and make sure you look awesome. And then number two, when customers find you, I want to make it so easy for them to rent that why would they go anywhere else? One, it's kind of be as easy as Amazon, and so that's what we hope to have built. And the current version of the platform looks quite a bit different than it did in 2017, as you can imagine. And it's kind of cool to see that progression, right? Because at every stage, I always tell Anna, who's my director of design, like, whoa, this is awesome. Right? But then she does it again 6 months later, and we're like, yeah, this is awesome. That was trash. No offense. Right? But it's that continuous improvement. And so it's really cool to see what we've done there. And then, to your point, we have an insights dashboard where basically, how I like to explain it to folks is it's like Google Analytics, but just for self-storage.
Yeah.
And a lot of operators have either never logged into Google Analytics or too scared to log in because there's so much going on. We kind of make it so simple. We're like, hey, these are the metrics that you should actually care about. Your conversion rate, what units people clicked on, how long they were on your website, what device they came from, what pages were important to them, and we kind of distill that down to help you focus on what matters at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And so we think that brings value. And I think the other component of working with StoragePug is, sure, we give you a website that looks good, helps people rent units, but we also want to be your partner in the sense that most of my clients don't have an in-house marketing person. The vast majority of my clients don't have an Andrew Rockoff who lives and breathes marketing, right? And so most operators actually depend on StoragePug as their marketing person. And so we want to be a good guide and a good steward and point them in the right direction and get them set up for success. Part of working with StoragePug is, you actually get an expert now who can steer you hopefully in the right direction for all things marketing.
Yeah, and your team does an awesome job of even working with another, in our case, we have another agency that offers the other services that you guys don't, and you're able to have those so you can see paid coming through in your dashboard, you can see all these other things, and it's all in one place, and it is, like I said, very easy to understand. So it's been awesome. And you had just mentioned website design before, and that was my next question is, where do you, and you also mentioned Amazon, so it was a perfect segue. So where do you see website design and functionality moving in the coming years? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so what's cool, kind of funny is Alex, Alex, right? Alex is our senior product specialist, and he's been with us for going on 6 years. So, but he sent me this video that we recorded in 2017. And in that video, my call to action was to convince storage owners to offer online rentals. That was the main thesis of this video, was y'all should offer online rentals. We promise it's going to be worth it. And that was how
far we've come.
I know, right? That was 8 years ago. And so now, obviously, I think today our industry has very much adopted online rental capabilities, right? So heading to 2026, is not going to be the trend. But I think what will be the trend is easier online rentals. One of the things that we've noticed over the last few years of doing this is, as more operators have taken their business online, what they've done is they've actually made it harder for consumers. They've added more steps to the process. And again, I'm going to call out one of the REITs, Extra Space. Now, they're very successful. Don't get me wrong. They're, I have no qualms about them as far as how they run their business or anything like that. My specific commentary is with their online rental flow. Check it out if you haven't done it in a while. If you're an audience member, if you've not rented from Extra Space, do it. I think Extra Space can rent more units online if they simplified their process. Now, I understand why, from a business logic, why they do it that way. They collect a lot of information. There's legal stuff. There's compliance stuff. They also want to streamline the process for their managers. But this is why I think independent operators. So Extra Space, you can stop listening now. This is where I think independent operators have the advantage here. If we make our online rentals process easier, it just means there's a little bit more work to do on the manager side. Well, we can do that. We can train our managers because we pay our managers better. We take care of them. We train them. We got them going on. And so if I make the rental process easier for customers, I'm going to get more customers, period. That's a very simple hypothesis, and we've tested it. We have clients today who rent a unit online with a credit card with only name, email, phone number, nothing else. And the rest of the information happens after the fact. Right? So I'm sharing some secrets here, but I think I would love the industry to follow suit. Is like, why not do that? Right? So compare your process with the REITs. And I'd have picked on Extra Space, but Public and Cube are the same way. It's a very complicated rental process, complicated in the sense that they require a lot of information from the buyer. Our hypothesis is that if you ask for less, you're going to get more.
Chris or Brian, do you want to go through our lightning round?
We're all waiting on Chris's lag here.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Chris?
Sorry about
Doing
that.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there. All right, Tommy, you ready? Here we go.
Let's rock and roll, baby.
What's your morning beverage of choice? Caffeine.
This week has been ginger tea, but usually it's just a glass of water.
That's it?
Dude,
this kind of energy with a glass of water?
Caffeine makes me jittery. I can't drink coffee. I get so jittery all day. I don't like that feeling. All this energy is all natural.
Next time we see you in person, we're going to get a cup of coffee. I want to see what this looks like.
See what this looks like.
Sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah. I'll say this, on road trips, like if I'm driving for 6 hours, I might grab like a Monster just so I can stay awake. Yeah. But yeah, so my morning beverage though is glass of water. But this week I've been drinking ginger tea because I've got some kind of bug thing from
winter
my
thing
kid.
happening.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right, so holidays are coming up. Favorite holiday song and favorite holiday movie?
Ooh, favorite holiday song and movie. It's from the same movie. Elf is the favorite holiday movie, and I love the Will Ferrell and Zooey Deschanel, I think that's how you pronounce the name, their Baby It's Cold Outside rendition. One of my favorites. So that specific rendition of that song is my favorite holiday song.
It's a good one. Good choice.
That's a great choice.
Sung in a bathroom.
Yes.
That's the way to do it.
All right. First concert you ever attended and most recent concert?
First concert, I think I was in 6th grade. No, I was in 5th grade maybe. Fish. They came into Knoxville, and I was not a Fish enthusiast. I barely listened to music at that age, but my neighbor's dad, my neighbor was my friend. His dad took him to a concert and took me along with them, and it was Fish. It's called Knoxville had a concert series called Sundown in the City. So that was my first concert ever. I didn't remember much of it, but it was Fish. And then most recent concert, I want to say, was Amos Lee. So it's been a while, but he came to Knoxville and played at the Bijou Theater, and I think that actually is my most recent concert. It's been a minute since I've been to one, but Amos Lee was the last one. I'm fairly certain that was the last one. Oh, no, I take it back. We saw Ed Sheeran. I took my wife to see Ed Sheeran in Nashville, Tennessee. So Ed Sheeran was the most recent.
He was my most recent too.
That was such a show. That was a heckin' show.
Awesome.
Dude, I mean, the man, he's a one-man band. He makes all the sounds himself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you've never seen Ed Sheeran live, whether you like his music or not, I think you would have a fantastic time at his show. So, yeah, Ed Sheeran was actually the most recent show.
Nice.
Chris, I got one real
I've
quick.
heard a story. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so before you're going up on stage to speak at a conference, what is blasting in your AirPods?
Ooh.
What kind of music do you have getting you ready to do this? Aside from a glass of water, which I don't even understand, what's happening here?
Yeah, so there's a song I've been listening to nonstop. If I were, in Snowmass, is probably be the song. It's by Kali Uchis, and the song is called "All I Can Say." And I don't know what about it. It just feels so retro. It feels like a 50s song. I didn't even know who Kali Uchis was until this song dropped. And I've just been listening to that song like nonstop.
I still don't know who that is.
Yeah, so I would say that one will probably be what I anticipate that in January, my older version will probably still listen to that one. Let me see, and then if it's not that, I do have some oldies and some classics that I always go to. So something that Jesus, etc. by Wilco is another one that is I always go back to that one. I'm looking at my playlist now.
It's a great
some
album.
Bon Iver, nothing wrong with that. And then if I'm really trying to get hyped up, Bonnie M. The disco band back in the late 70s, 80s. So my mom had a cassette tape of Bonnie M. growing up, and that's what we listened to. And so that, if I'm trying to get jazzed up, Bonnie M. is probably what I've got on my AirPods.
Love it. Nice.
Love it. Nice.
Great answer. Great question, Andrew. The last question I have.
Great question.
According to your bio, you were a neighborhood nerd. So my question is,
Yes.
once a neighborhood nerd, always a neighborhood nerd? And just to follow up, a neighborhood nerd, correct me if I'm wrong, is someone who will come to your house and fix your IT problem. So if for the folks out there who need a neighborhood nerd, you may have
internet.
a CEO. That's right. Yeah, like internet, like my internet. I'm calling them right now. You may have a future CEO at your doorstep coming to fix your issue.
Oh, my gosh.
Right? Do you owe a lot to the neighborhood nerds, Tommy?
I love that. Yeah. Once a neighborhood nerd, always a neighborhood nerd. That is very true. However, I have hung that cape on the wall. I will not be coming to your house to fix your printer problems or your internet problems. Oh, but I'd love that question, Chris.
Perfect timing. I think he just fully dropped off. It's just done. And goodbye.
Maybe one more, Tommy, for old time's sake. Give him a visit.
Go help our friend Chris. He needs a hand, clearly.
Yeah, I'll hop on the next flight to Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
That's crazy.
Awesome. All right, Tommy. So, where can our listeners find you? Where's the best? Way
I'm
to
pretty
reach
easy to
StoragePug?
find. So I respond to emails, Tommy@storagepug.com. I respond to text messages, 865-406-8773. And I'm on LinkedIn, Tommy Nguyen. Last name is spelled Nguyen. Or if you search for StoragePug, you'll see me. For better or worse, StoragePug has put me as the face, and I'm continue to be so. So you will find me there. Text me, I'll answer. Email me, I'll respond, and find me on LinkedIn.
Awesome, man. Well, like we said earlier, every industry I think has its stuffy element. So, thanks for doing what you do and being the exact opposite of that. You are a breath of fresh air. You're a fun person to hear speak and talk to. Your energy is contagious. So I appreciate you taking the time to join us today and look forward to seeing you at the next one.
Right on. Thank you, guys. Appreciate your time.
Thanks for listening to No Vacancy. If you liked what you heard, our episodes are available wherever you find your podcasts.